Okay, let's jump right in. What if I told you that a super common ingredient in your pantry, one you've probably been told is healthy, is actually completely incompatible with your body's cells? Seriously, we're talking about something that makes up a huge chunk of our daily calories, yet it's something our ancestors never, ever ate.
And this is the one that's truly shocking. 600. That's about how many days it can take for your body to finally scrub this stuff out of your cell membranes. This isn't like some sugar you can just burn off with a workout. No, this stuff becomes a part of you for a long, long time.
And this quote really hits it home. The corn oil in that salad dressing you had for lunch isn't just a today problem. It literally embeds itself into your physical structure, your cells, and can fuel this quiet, low-grade inflammation for almost 2 years. So, let's break down exactly what is going on here. All right, so first things first, we have to pull back the curtain on what is a massive marketing lie. You see, the term vegetable oil itself is completely misleading, and understanding where it actually comes from, well, that's step one to seeing the danger. I mean, just think about it for a second. Have you ever tried to squeeze oil out of a piece of broccoli or a kale leaf? Of course not, right? It's impossible. That's because these aren't vegetable oils at all. The real name for them is industrial seed oils. They're squeezed from seeds and grains like corn, soy, and cottonseed, which is a world away from traditional fats like butter or olive oil that humans have been using for thousands of years.
And the journey these seeds take to become that clear, golden oil in a bottle is, well, it's pretty intense. It's not a natural process. It's a heavy industrial one. First, they wash the seeds in hexane, which is a chemical solvent that's literally a component of gasoline to get the oil out. Then, because that raw oil is this gross, smelly, gray sludge, it gets blasted with super high heat, bleached to make it look pretty and yellow, and then deodorized to get rid of the nasty smell. So by the time it even gets to the supermarket, it's already a damaged, unstable product.
But the problem doesn't stop at the factory. The real damage, the deep stuff, starts when these unstable fats get inside your body, especially when you cook with them. This is where we get down to the nitty-gritty, right at the cellular level. Okay, so here's the easiest way to picture this. Think of a stable, healthy fat like butter as a solid brick wall. It's sturdy, all the bricks are locked in place, and there are no weak spots. Chemically, it has no double bonds, so it doesn't really react with oxygen. Now, industrial seed oils, they're polyunsaturated. Poly just means many, so they're like a fragile wall full of gaps and weak points. Tons of unstable chemical bonds that just fall apart when they're exposed to heat, light, or oxygen.
So, what does this actually mean for you in the kitchen? Well, it means everything. When you pour that corn or soybean oil into a hot pan, those fragile chemical bonds literally shatter. The oil starts to break down, it degrades really fast, and it reforms into these new, toxic byproducts that absolutely do not belong in our food.
And the main bad guy here has a name, aldehydes. These things are seriously toxic compounds that get created when you heat up seed oils. And just how toxic are we talking? Well, you know that awful head-pounding feeling you get during a bad hangover? That feeling is caused by an aldehyde. When you eat food fried in these oils, you are dosing your cells with that exact same kind of poison.
And once they're inside your body, what happens next is pretty scary. These aldehydes and oxidized fats, they don't just pass through you. They start to act like a kind of molecular superglue, just gumming up the works inside your cells and causing all sorts of chaos.
So what does this superglue do exactly? Well, for starters, it makes your cell membranes stiff and inflamed, which means good stuff can't get in and waste can't get out. It also directly attacks your mitochondria. Those are the tiny little power plants inside every cell. And, really critically, it starts to block the doorways, the receptors for your most important hormones, like insulin. And that right there leads to a huge problem. You know, a lot of people are really careful to cut out sugar, but if you're still cooking with these oils, you could be physically damaging the very thing that responds to insulin. The signal from insulin that says, hey cell, open up and take in some energy, that signal gets blocked. This is a massive driver of insulin resistance, which is at the very heart of so many modern diseases. Okay, that was a lot of bad news, I know. But here's the good news, and it's really good news. The solution is not complicated. It's a really clear, simple plan to protect yourself and give your cells a chance to heal. Step 1 is simple. You just have to eliminate them. Get these oils out of your pantry right now. We're talking corn, soybean, canola, cottonseed, sunflower, and safflower oils. You have to become a label reader because I promise you, this stuff is hiding everywhere.
So what do you cook with instead? Simple. You go back to basics, back to the stable, traditional fats that can actually handle heat. We're talking butter, ghee, tallow, and coconut oil. Remember that brick wall analogy? These are the solid bricks. This is what you use to build healthy, resilient cells.
Now, a quick but really important point about olive oil. I know you're probably wondering about it. High-quality olive oil is fantastic for you, but it's still a bit delicate. So the key is to use it for flavor, not for fire. Drizzle that good extra virgin stuff on your salads, on your finished meals. Just keep it out of the screaming hot frying pan.
And one final warning. You have to be so careful when you eat out. Probably the biggest, most concentrated dose of these toxins you'll ever get is from a restaurant deep fryer. Think about it. They often reuse that same vat of oil for days, heating it up again and again and again, basically creating an increasingly toxic soup of aldehydes with every order of fries.
So I'll just leave you with this one thought. Every single cell in your body is built, literally, from the food you eat. The fats you consume become your brain, your skin, the very edge of every cell. So the question is, what are you building yourself with? A fragile, unstable wall or a solid, resilient one?